Old Chang Kee is an all-too-familiar name for snack lovers in Singapore. Beginning as a humble street-side food stall, the brand can now be found virtually around every corner in Singapore, with over 80 outlets across the island as of 2023. The brand also has an international presence, having opened joints in Indonesia, Australia, and the UK. Here's how it grew to be a recognized Singapore street snack brand. Old Chang Kee has a long history tracing back to 1956. In its earliest form, it was but a humble stall on Koek Road established by Mr. Chang Chuan Boon, a Hainanese immigrant. Later, Mr. Chang moved his stall to Albert Street, at the time a popular destination for street hawkers. Around 1973, Mr. Chang opened a second stall at a coffee shop on Mackenzie Road, just outside the former Rex Cinema. The convenient location attracted snacky moviegoers, who kept coming back for the signature curry puffs, featuring fried pastry filled with curried potatoes, hard-boiled eggs, and fried chicken. Over the years, the dish became so iconic that it became known as Rex's Curry Puffs, or Old Chang Kee. When Mr. Chang retired from the curry puff business to return to China in 1986, Mr. Han Keen Huan, an acquaintance, decided to take over. Gathering a sum of 70,000 Singapore dollars from a small group of 4 investors, Mr. Han bought ownership of the Old Chang Kee store at Mackenzie Road. The move was a big risk for Mr. Han, who had no background in the food industry. Still, he was determined to follow this path, going so far as to travel to Sri Lanka and India to learn about spices and curry, to improve on the original Old Chang Kee recipe. A former salesman and marketing manager, Mr. Han also implemented his expertise to modernize the business. He adopted a process of gradual expansion, centralizing the production process to ensure food quality, and engaging the service of an advertising agency to bring in customers. This proved to be the right move. Mr. Han's efforts quickly paid off, as by 1991, Old Chang Kee had expanded to 12 outlets, with a sales turnover of 1.6 million Singapore dollars. The brand also made aggressive expansion overseas, establishing outlets in Malaysia, Indonesia, China, and Japan in 1993. Businesses abroad soared over the next few years, with sales in Indonesia and Malaysia both surpassing 1 million Singapore dollars in 1994. However, the trend gradually hit a decline in the late 1990s to early 2000s. With increasing complaints of food quality turning customers away, overseas outlets were becoming unprofitable. Mr. Han quickly adapted, deciding to terminate all 24 overseas Old Chang Kee outlets at the time. On the other hand, domestic business remained thriving, bringing in 14 million Singapore dollars in sales. Not one to be deterred, Mr. Han instead chose to take his previous failure as a lesson. He re-entered the global market in 2005, this time with stricter controls. 3 factories were opened in Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines to provide curry puffs to retail stores in these countries, ensuring their quality. By 2008, Old Chang Kee had 60 outlets in Singapore and another 11 abroad in Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and China. In May 2012, the Travel & Leisure magazine from the US ranked Old Chang Kee among the top 20 best fast food chains in the world. It is the only one from Singapore to make the list. With a wide network of outlets offering convenient and affordable snacks, Old Chang Kee looks to remain a comfort food for countless Singaporeans. What other local brands would you like to know more about?